So you've decided that Tennessee is the place you're going to move to. I know you know the basics about Tennessee. Famous for our Southern charm, Southern hospitality, conservative values, the phenomenal food, the music scene, the lifestyle, the beautiful outdoors. Number one for retirees in the country and ranked second least expensive state to live in. Now that all depends on which city in this state that you decide to live in. I'm Susan Thetford with eXp Realty, and I'm a lifelong Nashvillian and realtor. I want to help you determine with the nuances of each city what might be the best place for you. The state is phenomenal, but every city is not for you. Every town is not for you. Every town is not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
And thank goodness for that. So how do you know which city is the right one for you? Well, honestly, I don't know either. But let me give you a little bit of an outline of each of the top 9 cities according to uphomes.com, most recent study about 8 months ago. I'll give you their opinion, and I'll give you a little bit of my opinion. I haven't lived in every single one of them. I'm a native Nashvillian. I've lived my life here, but I have spent time in each one of them. I also think they've left out 2 very important cities that might be of importance to you too. But how do you determine it? Whether you're looking from the far west side of Tennessee over toward Memphis and the Mississippi River with the rolling hillsides and what used to be cotton fields, or all the way over into Middle Tennessee with the rolling hillsides, which is where Nashville and many of the other cities that we'll talk about are, or go all the way over to East Tennessee area toward the Great Smoky Mountains and Appalachians. We have so much variety of topography of the cities and towns, the people that live in each one of these, the people that are attracted to each one of these. These are the things we're going to talk about a little bit, little nuggets of each one, and then I would love to speak to you about what you want in a home to help you maybe suss out which top 1 or 2 might be best for you, and I have partners all over the state. So if this is of interest, see you on the other side. As I mentioned, I am a lifelong Nashvillian and a realtor here in the Middle Tennessee area in Nashville, but I have partners across the state and actually across the country with the eXp Realty. So if this information is of importance to you, I suggest you go ahead, do what so many people are doing. Just give me a call, give us a text. Let's have that conversation. Now, let's get into it. What does uphomes.com say are the top 9 cities? And I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm also going to tell you a little about what I know about each one or my thoughts about them. Again, some of these cities have changed dramatically since when I was a child and I actually lived there, maybe through school or going over for different horse shows and things. They've changed dramatically since then because in the last 10 years, Tennessee itself has been in the limelight as a wonderful place to live. So this is where I rely on a lot of my partners who know intimately their areas. That's why it's so important to you to talk to someone who knows each one of these areas. But let's get into it. Coming in at number 9 is Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga, Tennessee is nestled in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains along the Tennessee River. The southeastern city is the 4th largest in the state. It is near the border of Georgia and the interstate. Chattanooga is a great place with easy access to many areas. Getting on down to Atlanta is the way we get there from Nashville. And it is one of the most beautiful area with breathtakingly gorgeous scenery over at Lookout Mountains and the Tennessee Aquarium, which is the largest freshwater aquarium in the country. With miles of greenway and the 10-mile river walk downtown, the city connects residents to all the local shops and restaurants, gorgeous natural scenery. It's a really fun place to take small children to the aquarium and to the walking mall. Phenomenal outdoor days for hiking and mountain biking, hang gliding, and bass fishing. When the Olympics were in Atlanta, Georgia, many people don't realize that the whitewater rafting actually took place near Chattanooga. Chattanooga is that close to Atlanta. One of the things that I loved when my children were growing up was to take them to that aquarium. We also spent the night on the Chattanooga Choo Choo, which is a great little train that you could spend the night in a true sleeping car. Chattanooga is a really fun place to live, although my son doesn't remember it well because we left his little blankie there, and they never found it. But Chattanooga is a beautiful place to live, especially if you really are a very much outdoorsy type of person. Coming in at number 8 is Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge was built in the 40s by the government and later became an independent city in 1950s. Oak Ridge is located on the eastern part of Tennessee and about a 30-minute drive from downtown Knoxville. It was called the Secret City because it was originally built with the intention to develop technology that would end World War II. This is where the famous Manhattan Project National Historic Park is in Oak Ridge. Population is about 30,000 people. Oak Ridge has a very educated populace based on, as you know, the industry that is there. So it's known to have phenomenal schools. I went myself to Knoxville to school, UT Knoxville, and we just drove straight through Oak Ridge. Frankly, there was really nothing there except for restricted areas because I'm not a nuclear physicist. And, the main thought is there's not a whole lot to do. That has been a minute or two since I was in college. My children went to UT Knoxville too. They say the same thing. There's really not much there. But if you're looking for a phenomenal community full of families, highly educated people, reasonably priced homes, and beautiful scenery, you can't go wrong in Oak Ridge. Next you have Murfreesboro, Tennessee. One of the fastest growing cities in Tennessee, Murfreesboro is bringing new residents from all over the country. It's only 35 miles from Nashville, giving it about a 45-minute drive time, actually. It's well known for its American Civil War history, and as are many of the areas nearby. The Stones River National Battlefield is a 570-acre park that remembers the battles of Stones River. History buffs will love to walk the battlefield and hear the history of the Oakland Mansion and the Cannonsburg Village, where highlights the city's history. Murfreesboro has been ranked as one of the best cities to live. Now, back again when I was growing up, we really thought of Murfreesboro as being more of a suitcase kind of town because that is where MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University, was. And that's where the population, they would go home for the weekends, wherever home was, because there wasn't a lot to do in Murfreesboro. But because of its history, because of the great education, because of its affordability index, that reputation no longer exists in Murfreesboro. It is its own destination place. So if you live in Murfreesboro, coming to Nashville, coming to some of the areas, others that we'll talk about, is really not a thing except for very special occasions, maybe for a rare concert or Titans or Predators football game. But we can no longer call it a suitcase city. My experience was many times I took my daughter to Murfreesboro for horse shows. We didn't get a lot of time to spend in Murfreesboro. The people there were wonderful, and I did wish, and I will have to do this, to spend a little bit more time going to some of the historic areas. The downtown Murfreesboro is beautiful with the big southern antebellum buildings. Next is the small town of Nolensville on the far east side of Williamson County. This too is one very fast growing town. It was mostly fields and horse pastures and cow pastures until the last 15 or so years. It is a phenomenal community that's still quite rural. You feel that flavor, but it's a great town. Nolensville is coming in at number 6. Nolensville, Tennessee is a very small town, which gives it its charm. It's a suburb of Nashville, established in 1789 by William Nolan, who served in the Revolutionary War. With only about 10,000 families, it's a very small resident, and all the neighbors know each other's. Families love each other so much because of that close-knit community. It's actually one of the areas with the highest percentage of families. That number is continually growing. While properties in this tiny town are kind of pricey, its location near Nashville and its new construction and very rural feel gives it the small town vibe that so many people are craving. Next, let's go over toward West Tennessee. Collierville is next on their list of Upwork's best places to live in Tennessee. Collierville is a Memphis suburb about 30 minutes from downtown Memphis and is in Shelby County. Population of about 44,000. Collierville is the state's largest town by population. It's very affordable due to the cost of living, but this town is a very affluent town, especially in the last 5 or so years. It's been a hot place for affluent families to live. With beautiful estates, it's filled with large homes, both old and new, and lots of popular retail. Downtown Collierville has a historic square with walkable areas, cute shopping, restaurants, local shops, quirky cafes, and a park that has a summer concert series. There's an 800,000 square foot shopping center called the Avenue of Carriage Crossing that residents love to go to. The Shelby County School District and many private schools are found in Collierville. My daughter-in-law's family is from Memphis. Collierville is where some of them live, and the next part of the family lives in Germantown. When I was in college, I had 3 college roommates who were from Germantown, which was the Brentwood of Memphis way back in my college days. Now Germantown now comes on as one of the next best places to live in Tennessee. Germantown is also in Shelby County. If you're considering moving to Memphis, then Germantown might be the place for you. This Memphis suburb has a population of approximately 40,000 people and is great for both young professionals and retirees. With the low cost of housing, on top of Tennessee's no state income tax, Germantown is very affordable. Germantown is considered to have the lowest crime rate of any city in the state, but has also really great school district. It's a 14-mile drive from downtown Memphis. Its economy is primarily driven by retail and the commercial sectors. When you come to Tennessee and visit, what you're going to find is very different sections of Tennessee look and feel very different. If you've noticed, our state flag has 3 stars on it in a round circle because there are actually 3 different divisions of the state. Far west, which is where Germantown, Memphis, Collierville, then there's some great smaller cities, Paris, Tennessee, and the West Tennessee corridor over by the Mississippi River. Then this Middle Tennessee section is where Nashville, Franklin, Nolensville, Mount Juliet, Hendersonville. I could name 40 or 50 tiny towns, Ashland City, so many areas that you might want to look at. The hillsides, it's a different topography. It's a very different feeling. So there really truly are 3 different sections of the state. Then when you go over to the east side, it also feels very different. So I've found that it's very helpful for people to decide if they're going to visit Tennessee and don't know exactly which area they might want to live in, to spend 3-4 days. Spend a little time in each section. You will know immediately which you might like to visit, but which one you also want to live in. And then we can really call down the cities or the towns in each one of those divisions of the state. My best advice for you, until you know for certain, don't choose a city till you've really gotten the feel of each one. If mountains are your thing, then you're not going to be happy in West Tennessee. If you like more cotton fields and flat bayou kind of living and fresh fish, that type of thing, then the East Tennessee area might not be for you. Just a word of advice. Coming in at number 3, according to uphomes.com, is, you know it, you love it, you've heard about it.
I'm guessing it's not good.
Franklin, Tennessee. I'm going to tell you that I probably would have shifted some of these orders. And again, 1 or 2 towns are missing that I'm going to tell you about later. But they mark Franklin as number 3 on the list of the best places to live. Franklin, Tennessee is in Williamson County, just south of Nashville, Davidson County. Provides residents with a dense suburban feel. History plays a major role in Franklin. It was founded in 1799 by Benjamin Franklin. And Franklin itself played a major role in the American Civil War. In fact, one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War took place here. Now, it's not something we're necessarily proud of, but it also is not something we want to forget. The Carnton Plantation served as the largest field hospital in the area, and we have tours there every day. Carter House is another historic landmark. Franklin, Tennessee is the 8th fastest growing town in the country. It is, this article says this one is not as expensive. It's very expensive, but you're going to find the county is enormous. You have both Franklin and some of the bigger cities that you've heard of. We've got tons of little bitty towns and summer towns and places to get so far away from it. You can be an hour and a half drive from anything or anybody. So when it's calling it affordable, that's relative to only knowing where you live in the county. Franklin itself, historic Franklin, is an expensive area to live in, but what you get. Franklin has also been named the best small town in the country by Condé Nast. think it was Condé Nast. And it's written up in Southern Living in all the magazines. Guns and, what's that favorite? It's a beautiful magazine. Guns and, it's so pretty. What is the name of that magazine?
5 hours later.
Garden and Gun. There you go. Garden and Gun magazine has often visits Franklin, writes articles about it. It's just beautiful. In Franklin has been a recent addition to Franklin is a competitor to Blackberry Farms. Now you may have heard that. That's something new to the Franklin area that many people are excited about off of South Hall Road, which is just 15 minutes from downtown historic Franklin, is a new resort retreat, gourmet dining, gourmet everything, luxurious weekend or week-long getaway place that rivals Blackberry Farms. Blackberry Farms has been written up worldwide famous, so we're excited about the fact that there's another competitor right close by here in Franklin. So we're going to stay in Williamson County, and coming in at number 2 is the best places to live according to Up Homes is Brentwood, Tennessee. I've done lots of videos in Brentwood, Tennessee. I actually live in Brentwood. Grew up about a mile from Brentwood, so I know this Middle Tennessee corridor so well. Brentwood, Tennessee is an amazing place to live. It started approximately in the 60s being developed, definitely known as CEO lifestyle. That's basically what I can call it. Franklin, Brentwood are definitely a CEO lifestyle. You'll find heads of companies, you'll find Fortune 500 company headquarters here. Brentwood is a phenomenal spot. It comes in at number 2. Let's see what they have to say about it. In 2017, the town of Brentwood was ranked as the number 1 best places to live in Tennessee and the 21st best place to live in America. With a current population of about 42,000 people, this Nashville suburb is continually growing. Living in Brentwood comes with a reputation and a price tag. Since the city is Williamson County is desirable and sought after, if you choose to live in Brentwood, you may have lots of celebrities. Whether you're living anywhere in Williamson County or the Nashville area, you're gonna have lots of celebrities that you may see walking up and down Whole Foods. Taylor Swift, Keith Urban, Kix Brooks, Ronnie Dunn, Kid Rock, just to name a couple people that you're likely to run into. Brentwood is safe and clean and ranked as the 7th richest small city in America. Has a very close community and very top school district and super public library. Now, one of the things that I think might be a nuance for people is that Brentwood is its own city and it really can't grow anymore. When you get outside of the city of Brentwood, you're in Franklin. And so the boundaries of Brentwood do not grow. What does that mean? You're not gonna have more infill property. We're not gonna have the density of housing that you find in other areas. That's one of the reasons that those prices are staying so high. And the community is super stable. Lots of people wanna live there, but there's just so many houses and there's just not much there. Now, it's not for you if you want a big nightlife because there's very little there. 9 o'clock at night, Kroger locks all of its doors, only one way in, one way out. It's a family neighborhood. It's a CEO neighborhood. They get up early. They do those ice baths at 5 in the morning. They're a little crazy. They're really not. But what I'm saying, it's a very focused, highly educated, very professional area, and they don't do a lot of nightlife except for going on downtown. I know they're playing. They're just not playing in downtown Brentwood. I'm sure this will come as no surprise to you that the number 1 place to live, according to Up Homes, is Nashville, Tennessee. Now, I can tell you, I'm not so sure I would have put that order. It certainly would have been at the very top of the list, but would it have been number 1? Not at my stage of life, probably not. That's why this is so important. Downtown Nashville is a wonderful place to live. The Nashville SMSA is a huge area with lots and lots of great cities and towns to choose from. Let's see what they have to say about Nashville, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. Founded in 1779, Nashville sits on the Cumberland River and one of the most well-known and desirable cities to live in the state. The character of the city is what makes it so unique. It's been named one of the most beautiful towns in Tennessee, and you should spend the day at the Parthenon at Centennial Park, which is a full-size replica of the Parthenon in Athens, which was erected for our 100th anniversary of the city. Country Music Hall of Fame, the Schermerhorn with some beautiful buildings, the Capitol. We've got some beautiful places to visit. As a native Nashvillian, watching the skyline grow from when the highest building, I think when I was growing up, might have been the LNC Tower, and that might have been 20 stories, to now, the iconic Batman building, which seems like it was built yesterday, and that was well over 25 years ago. Nashville has become the it city. We've seen a phenomenal growth. A lot of people say that the state bird is the crane because of all the building and construction that goes on. But that's not just in Nashville, that's all over the state. It's really all over the country recently. And when I say living in Nashville, there's so many parts of Nashville, so many nuances of places you can live in Nashville, that it's really hard to even say that is a city. Because if you happen to want to be at the Gulch area of Nashville, which is where the train station used to be and come in and out of, that Gulch area is great for condos and a very fast lifestyle. If you want to be minutes from and maybe don't need a car, condominium apartment life in the Gulch. But if you don't want to have that type of life and you want more of a home and single family home sites, you might want to be over in some of the other areas of Nashville, West Meade, over in Germantown. So when we say Nashville, please understand Nashville is not the right spot for you, probably. If you have a young family, you've got to want to put your kids in the best private schools. You want to have a backyard to kick that soccer ball around. The Gulch part of Nashville isn't your spot, probably. Where is your spot would be over more of a suburban area. But that's not the place to be if you really too are, if you're young or if you're retired and if you want to go and go to all the night restaurants and spots. So that's why it's important to really get a grip on what you want in an area, have a conversation with someone who knows each area very well, and we can help pinpoint places for you to then pick and choose from. Otherwise, it can be super overwhelming. Okay, so I promised I'd mention to you 2 places that I think miss this list completely, and it should be on there. I'm not sure who I would kick off to be on there, but I think these should be. Number 1, I know who I'd kick off, and I would add it. It's totally off this list, but I'm going to save that one for last as well. So I think they left off a really good city. It's Johnson City, Tennessee. Now, Johnson City is northeast corner of the state. It's in the foothills of the Appalachians. It has a population of about 72,000 people, which surprised me. I didn't really realize it was that big. It is the number 1 U.S. emerging housing market, according to the Wall Street Journal a year ago. Johnson City has very affordable housing with a median cost of $312,000. This is where ETSU University, East Tennessee State University is. It's a beautiful area if you like outdoor life, if you want a small community, if you truly are an outdoorsy person, because that's what it is. You're not looking for rush and go, big city kind of lifestyle, but you do want that great outdoor living and lifestyle in a smaller community. Johnson City could be the place for you. Now, the number 1 city that I would have chosen probably wasn't chosen just because it's so small and so unique and out of reach for so many people that they just left it out. But number 1 would be Belle Meade. If I could afford to live anywhere in this state and have the house that I want in any place in the state, it would be Belle Meade. Belle Meade is its own small metropolitan area nestled between Green Hills, West Meade, Hillwood. I've done several conversations about each one of those areas. It's its own small metro area. It's got its own police station. It's got its own additional city taxes. There is an area, it's not going to grow, it has no commercial in it, but it is, right outside the lines. The Belle Meade City Police is just over the line next to a lot of the commercial work. It is bounded by the Percy and Edwin Warner Parks areas. It's only a 10 to 15 minute drive to downtown Nashville. Lots of great private schools, good public schools. There's everything about it that you could say that's perfect, but I can't believe most people wouldn't want to live there. It's just not affordable to most people. Part of that reason is there's no more dirt. There's no more place to build homes. They don't down zone, so you're not going to find small lots, small homes on small lots. There's only apartments that have been grandfathered in before they put in the more restrictive zoning. So Belle Meade would be my number 1 choice if money were no object. And I'm like you. Money's always an object. So how do we begin this search? With a conversation. Always with a conversation. I've got partners across the state. Middle Tennessee might not be your region. Your region may be over West Tennessee once we talk about what you want in a lifestyle. That's perfectly fine. I can help you find the right spot, but let's start with a conversation. Give me a call, give me a text. Do what so many people have done in the last couple of years. One of these top cities might be for you. Do you have your own suggestion? I'd love to hear it. What is your favorite city in the state? If all things Tennessee is of interest to you, then I suggest you go ahead and tap that bell so you're notified every time we drop a new video. And if you feel like it, I would love it. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That really helps YouTube know that this information is valuable to you. Meanwhile, I'll see you next week.